And here we are to continue our exploration of the Swift language. In the last couple videos, we walked through some playgrounds and we covered variables and we covered types and we talked about tuples. In this video, I'd like to look at playground number 3. So the first video shows where these are. You can download them from GitHub. And here what we're going to look at is we're going to look at functions in Swift. So like other languages, Swift has functions, and they look a lot like functions in other languages, but Swift also has some features that are unique to Swift. So let's talk about functions. So like other languages, you'll write a function in a very similar way. You start with the keyword func. You follow it with the name of your function, parentheses, and curly brackets. So this is a function that does nothing. It just has a comment here, and you invoke your function in the same way. So we call the name of the function do nothing, and then follow with the parentheses, and then nothing happens in this case. Or if we wanted, we could print. Oops, wait, double quotes there. Did nothing, right? And then if we run that, yeah, there we go. It says did nothing, right? Okay, so that's the basics there, right? A function like this, okay? In Swift, functions can take parameters just like other languages. In Swift, though, every parameter gets a name. So in my case, here, I've got a function that takes a parameter, and I've given the name of the parameter as name, and then I've set the type here, okay? So the name is name, and the type is string. So that means that when we call on the function, we use the name, the colon, and then we give it a value. So this name is the variable, and then the value is sour. So you could say, print the name, or actually, yeah, I'll say name is colon, and then we can, actually we could use that. Let's use that slash and the thing here, name, right? And then we'll, oh yeah, it says name is sour, right? Or we could say foobar. Name is foobar, right? Okay, so the difference here is a lot of languages have this kind of arrangement where you're going to have the parameter and you might set a type, but not a lot of languages also require that you include the name in the call to the function, okay? What about return values? So functions can also return a value. In this case, I have a function that returns something. It takes a name as a parameter, and then the return value follows here after the parentheses, but before the curly brace. And you use this little dash and the arrow. So you write an arrow that is kind of indicating that returns this type right here, string. So that means our function must return a type that matches the type here of the return value. If we had, oops, let me comment that out. What if we had a different return type? If I said return a 0, then here I get an error because it says cannot convert return expression of type int to return type string. So it's expecting me to return a string, so I must return a string here. So actually this would be okay if I put the 0 in quotes like that, right? I'm going to go back to my original one. So just a note, if you have multiple returns, as soon as you return the first time, then that ends your function and the code here is unreachable, right? So the code below this line is not going to happen. Okay, so here if I say, return something and I add the name here, the name is Fancy, and then we return hello Fancy, okay? And something is going to be hello Fancy, right? So anyway, so that gets us started on functions, and you can go through here and try some of the challenges, and then I'll kind of cover some of the ideas in the next video.